Welcome to our 888 VoIP Q1 partner webinar. My name is Jamie Stewart, and I am the marketing manager for 888 VoIP, and I will be monitoring today's webinar. Today's webinar is hosted by Joe Labella, 888 VoIP's Director of Advanced Solutions Practice. And we will be hosting these webinars quarterly to make sure we provide you with updates on 888 VoIP, products, pricing, and everything else new that you need to know. So please keep an eye out for the emails to sign up for our next webinar for Q2. Also, as a special thank you for joining us today, we would like to send you a free 888 VoIP t-shirt. So we will be sending a follow-up email out within the next few days that will have this webinar recording as well as some important links and information for you to know from today's presentation. And there will be instructions in there about replying to the email and how to receive that from us. Also, if you have any questions as we go through this presentation, if you could please put them in the chat or the Q&A box, I will be monitoring it and I can bring it to Joe during the presentation, or we'll cover all of the questions at the end. So thank you again so much for joining us today, and I hope you enjoy the presentation, and I'm now going to hand it over to Joe.
Awesome. Thank you so much for the intro. Thank you all that are attending today. Thank you for everyone who signed up as well. It's definitely exciting to get this webinar back up and running. We did it for a little while and we really wanted to enhance it. So with the help of Jamie, it's definitely going to be a really nice presentation, giving you guys more of an overview of who we are. I know you had brief introductions when you signed up, either talking to myself or various other sales reps, but we wanted to try to get a little bit more ingrained with what we offer. Maybe these conversations and topics have been discussed already, but as Jamie mentioned, feel free to drop any questions that you have at any time and we'll make sure to address it either in real time or right at the end of the webinar itself. But I'll get started here in 1 second. Wanted to give everyone just a really quick overview of kind of who we are as a distributor company. We do want to focus and be a one-stop value-add distributor for our partners. So when we first began business, we did a lot with basic voice, standard phones, some other accessories, but over the past, almost 2 decades, we've really expanded our line card to try to offer as much of an in-depth solution for our partners where we can get on phone calls with you all to go over exactly what kind of scenario that you're working on or any kind of projects and kind of plug in little bits of different technologies based on the vendors and manufacturers that we work with. So whether or not you're seeing certain brands or certain types of technology through our site, we want to make sure that you have a really great experience. So while we offer, like I mentioned, and we'll dive into it a little bit more, specific brands and specific types of networks or networking equipment, I should say, we really don't want to limit what you see on our line cards. So anything that your team is looking for, whether we have it or not, we always want to get that feedback just to see what we can do to be that support arm and kind of help partners establish themselves a little bit more. It has been really rewarding to watch some of our partners grow from 1 to 2 person organizations all the way up to 10 to 20 times the size that they are today. So scaling is definitely something that we have a really strong background in, and we pride ourselves in making sure that we're there for our partners every step of the way. So some of the quick overviews here of what we provide. A big one that maybe a lot of folks don't know is our provisioning offering. We will dive into that a little bit more detailed, but provisioning from a customization and full service provisioning option is something that we do want to make sure is at the forefront. It is a very important piece of what we've added here as a service because we do know that time and projects are going to be coming at our partners a lot faster than they have in the past. We do want to offer an avenue to give a little bit more time back to your team. So whether that's pre-configuring devices, labeling products before they leave, making sure that URLs and extensions are pulled, taking time off of your plate would help your team not only do the installation a little bit more smoothly, but also give you more time to handle other projects or deals that are coming through, finding new opportunities, and knowing that on the back end, we're doing all we can to make sure that the products that arrive are 100% ready to go, giving you a little bit more confidence knowing that you can avoid having to do a lot of extra work on the background. Usually what we do when it comes to provisioning is we have a quick call, either with myself, somebody else on the sales team, along with our provisioning team, just to ask basic questions of what you're looking for from the provisioning service. We can do cost analysis evaluation while we're on that call, just to go over obviously what our services are, but at the same time, how much time and energy and even money that your team would have to be spending to do all those services yourselves. So we don't want to forget about that being one of our top and most successful provisioning options that we have. I've seen as many as 500 phones be provisioned in one day and shipped out the same day. Obviously that just means the order came in early. We had all the right information, but we have been able to accommodate larger projects and drop ship directly on your behalf. So that way your tech team can go right to the site, make sure that the products have arrived, and then from there, just plug the units in. We've even had it where we drop ship states away from where our partners are, and their clients just plug the phones in and call if there's any issues with the setup. So it really does give a lot of peace of mind to offer that provisioning service. So I will make sure that we highlight that a little bit more. On top of hardware, we do have some software solutions, not only networking software, but PBX software, anything that we can do to offer a non-hardware related add-on to some of the solutions that we build out or the projects that you're working on is definitely part of the process of what we do here with the 888 VoIP team. Logistics is a very important part as well. Obviously, if there's orders that come through, we need to make sure that they leave as fast as we can. As long as the product is in stock and we have the ability to get it out same day, we will strive to do that. On top of the blind shipping, like I mentioned, we have RMA services. So if you do receive a device that's damaged or dead on arrival or missing, we have a full customer service team that can help work with the carriers to track down missing packages, work with you directly to make sure that we get a working product out to you, and then also work to get the device that's not working the way it should back into our warehouse so that way we can start the process on the back end for credit. We do have private stock warehousing availability. So that is something that some partners have taken advantage of, whether it's pricing programs that are about to expire or prices for devices that are going to be increasing, and you've got some projects that are going to take place maybe a month or two after that price increase. We've had a lot of partners take advantage of holding stock, doing like a prepayment type of thing. We would create an individual warehouse for your stock and then pull from it as you need it. We do have some repeat customers that do it. We also have ones that do it in a one-off basis. So there's a lot of flexibility that we have here. And part of our role is to make sure that you're aware of some of those pricing changes. So if that's going to affect just stock fulfillment for you, we want to make sure that we talk through all of that. So please remember, private warehousing is also an option that we have for our partners. We are also really very happy and very supportive of our API integration that we've been building. We have a really knowledgeable web team that's done a great job of trying to make sure that our inventory and details can sync up with your website, whether it's just pulling specific SKUs and prices. We've also had folks essentially turn their website into a marketplace for their clients where people can buy right from their site. It would pull the inventory from our warehouse. We could do all of the provisioning, customization, and drop ship directly where it needs to go. So if you have any questions or are interested in acquiring the API access, we can definitely walk you through all of those processes as well. On top of having a full customer service and sales team, we also have a team of certified technicians. We try to act as an extension of the manufacturers that we're distribution partners with. And what that does is that gives you another level of support where you're not just relying on the manufacturer. Sometimes there's different times of day that our manufacturers are available. We are always available, usually 9 to 5, maybe 9 to 7 at times East Coast. But if we need to schedule something, or if you have pre-sales or post-sales questions, we want to be your first line of defense for any devices that are purchased through us. So feel free and feel comfortable knowing that when you call our technicians, it's not going to be someone who has to search for the answers. They're going to be very knowledgeable with everything that we stock and everything that we sell. There are times where maybe there's some changes on the manufacturer side that have to loop them in. And what we'll do is actually take that part off of your plate, so that way we can handle getting the answers for you and then connecting back, so that way you can focus again on other projects or other tasks that you have throughout your day. Jamie's part of this, but we have a really great marketing resource and a great marketing team that we work with now. They've been really supportive in kind of freeing up some of the day-to-day tasks that the sales team was working on, and really letting us focus on being a better partner for you as well. So don't hesitate to reach out to us, both on the marketing or the sales side, for anything we can do to enhance your business, whether that's custom collateral like it noted here. We've had folks put together their own flyers based on hardware that you're selling. We could do custom branding. We could put together pamphlets that we can put inside these boxes when they ship out to your clients as well. So we do marketing insert options. There's really a lot more than just configuration that we can do when it comes to provisioning. So that's another highlight that we want to add. As I mentioned before, we do have two warehouses. There's a slide that'll be next that'll show you the two points of fulfillment that we have from a distributor warehouse perspective, but we are very keen on making sure everything ships out same day. If for some reason there's an order that comes through at 4:30 Eastern in Buffalo, but we have the stock in Reno, and the time frame to get to your location isn't a huge, time sensitive situation, we can always switch the warehousing from Buffalo to Reno. That way the units still ship out same day, and we can get you detailed tracking just to deliver on time for your projects. And then lastly, our wholesale pricing, financing options, and a real streamlined way of ordering through our portal has definitely separated us from some of the competition. And we want to make sure that you're aware of all of those benefits. So as a tier one distributor and the wholesale agreements that we have, we offer the best pricing, the most aggressive costs that we can. There are always going to be times where we want to discuss different projects. So anything that you have, whether you're on our site and you see pricing maybe a little higher than what you're finding from competition, or you really want to make sure that we're securing the lowest cost, feel free to reach out via email or on the phone. We're always happy to take a look at every individual project, or even a one-off opportunity where maybe we have to meet a timeline, but at the same time also make sure that the budgets are met. So don't ever feel, like you're a burden in any way. We're always happy to answer the phone or reach out to you directly when you're available, just to go through different projects that you're working on. So just to highlight again from the technical support perspective, pre-sales, post-sales, there are even times where we have folks schedule maybe ahead of time an hour of your day while you're on site with your installation. Maybe it's a new project that you've never worked on from a technology perspective before, and our team has the experience and the knowledge to be on the phone as a support arm. Usually those are pre-scheduled because it is kind of tough when you're on site to find someone at the same time. So if we have any kind of, a heads up type of thing, we can definitely work on that. But pre-sales and post-sales technical support is a huge benefit to working with us, because we do have knowledgeable technicians. We have people that answer the phone. We don't force you to only use tickets. We do also have the option of toll-free numbers. So there's definitely various ways to reach out to our tech team. You can even, reach out to the sales folks, and we can try to schedule something if there's an urgent call. But from configuration to troubleshooting, any of your deployment needs can be met with our certified engineers that we have. And then just a real quick kind of step-by-step of how we can take care of any other aspects that fall from the provisioning all the way to the RMA portion. We do have a really quick turnaround time when it comes to our RMAs too, because we do work very closely with our manufacturers. So like I mentioned before, anytime you have anything that's purchased through us, please come to us first. We want to be your first line of defense and see how we can support anything moving forward. Highlighting the provisioning again, just to dive in a little bit more granular. So we do have 3 different packages that we promote and talk about. I would say that our basic provisioning is one of our more popular options, just because the per unit costs are a bit lower, but what we offer is also a bit lower from the amount of information that we'll need. So for basic provisioning, the biggest thing that we need is any kind of URL or configuration link that you need to put on these devices. Regardless of working with us for provisioning or not, the way that our systems work is as soon as the order is placed and our warehouse scans that inventory, you will receive an Excel doc for your MAC addresses and your serial numbers. If we're going to continue on the provisioning path, all we'll need is just an Excel doc back, um, maybe with extensions built out for each MAC address, or again, a static or a static URL or any kind of specific configuration that you want to put on those phones. We would just need that back, and our team can start working on the provisioning process. All of the devices will pull down all the information you're requiring prior to shipping out. And if they aren't, what our team will do is contact you directly, just make sure that the URL details are correct, or if there's any other changes to be made, so we can still achieve that same day turnaround time with fulfilling the order, provisioning, and then drop shipping or sending directly to your location. Our advanced provisioning includes everything from the basic perspective, but we can also start asset tagging, meaning we can put individual labels on your boxes. So if you have a phone order for 10 phones that has to drop ship to a client, and I'm the client, and I open up my box and look for my extension or my name, all I have to do from there is plug the device in, and we can just make it as easy as that for your clients to know that they have the proper device. This is where our marketing inserts may take place on the advanced side, and just making sure that we've got all the right details of the device, so that way your team is comfortable knowing that what we drop ship is exactly the way that you would want it presented to your client. And then lastly, our customized packages. Again, there's really no limitation to what you'd like us to do. We would obviously work with you on a per unit price to do something a little bit more customized, but I like to use the example of a partner I've been working with for a long time. And this partner actually sends us spools of customized logo stickers. They also send us QR codes that they have, which ping back to their support ticket center. So what we do there is we strategically place those QR codes on the phones, repackage everything up after provisioning's been done, and then we'll strategically place those logo stickers as well. So not only does it look like it comes from your company, but you can guarantee that the device is new, because we'll put a logo sticker over the factory seal, so that way it looks, brand new as when it left our warehouse. And then as soon as it's plugged in, if there's any issues, this particular partner has their customers scan the QR code to submit a ticket. So things as granular as that, we can get very detailed for you. Our team has a very strict and a very strong process in the background for the provisioning side, to the point now where partners don't even have to ask those questions on what type of URL are we using, because it's notated properly, or what type of stickers do you want us to put on there, or different types of codes. We get really specific and label those devices, again, so that your client has the best experience possible, and it looks as if it's coming from your location or your warehouse directly. So any questions that you have as far as costs or the process of provisioning, we can take care of that at any time. I'm always a big fan of making sure our provisioning team's on the phone if we're going to take the provisioning service for you, just so we're all comfortable and confident that these devices will ship the way that you would like them to ship to your client. The two warehouses that we have, our main headquarters is just outside of Buffalo, New York, but we also have a satellite warehouse in Reno, Nevada. This keeps us a little bit more efficient of making sure, again, the same day delivery or the same day shipment is taken care of. I shouldn't say same day delivery, sorry. That's hopefully something that we get to, but same day shipment is definitely what we like to focus on. So orders placed on the East Coast later in the day that have the option to ship to Reno, we will do that for you. If you have a new customer that's in a different coast that you're located in, we'd be happy to, again, go over all the process of how to drop ship, make sure that they are comfortable with receiving the equipment, and that your team has all the different avenues to contact us if any issues pop up. Real quick, I'll leave this slide up for a second, but this is just a really fast overview of our main brands and manufacturers that we work with. We've been working with some of these manufacturers for, again, close to 2 decades. So really interested in integrating ourselves in putting together a full solution with the brands that we carry. And what's nice about that, like I mentioned earlier, is if you have a project that has, let's just say, 3 out of the 5 areas of technology for the solution that we've built, we'd be happy to fill in the other 2 blanks. If you have parts of those solutions that you're looking to replace, we've got a lot of different options to kind of fit and make sure that everything talks to each other and is certified to work together, and just be there for you to make sure that the full solution is completed and everyone is, up and running the way that they would like to. Newly onboarded brands. I'm sorry, let me go back really fast. Sorry. I did want to highlight a couple of technologies that maybe people aren't sure or aren't aware that we work with pretty closely. So IP security is a newer technology field that we've been working with. TP-Link carries some IP cameras. Invid carries IP cameras. We also have door access devices through Grandstream, Algo, Cyberdata, Fanville, Viking, voice over IP phones from Yealink to Poly, Snome, Grandstream, Fanville as well. We have faxing services through our companies like FaxEdge. We also have a cloud distribution sister company called Cloudco that offers a lot of cloud distribution options, from hosting space, SIP trunking options, even some billing aspects as well if you need that for your clientele. We also work with 3CX, a couple other PBX manufacturers if you're looking for a voice option. And then we also have accessories from companies like Intelenet and Manhattan that offer different AV mounts, maybe some cabling options. If you need any kind of specifics there, we'd be happy to take a look and see what the turnaround time would be for any of the cabling accessory devices. We work with LTE failover devices such as PepLink, Ubiquity for networking, Grandstream for networking. So we're really trying to put together a whole various solution subset for you for different technologies that you're looking into. So if there's nothing that you see on this page that you normally work with, we'd love to hear that feedback. We have really no issues contacting these brands directly to see how we can become a distributor partner with them, or at the very least be able to source and find you a solution, so that way you can come to us for everything. You don't have to run around finding multiple locations to source the equipment you need for your different projects that you're working on. These 6 highlighted are our newest onboarded brands. So again, Algo from the paging perspective, HP Poly, they obviously have been in the market for a long time, but their phones, looking to see how we can start working more with their headsets and AV line as well. Intelenet from a networking solutions perspective, Manhattan from some mounts and again, different cabling perspectives that they offer. Ubiquity has a really great and popular line from networking to door access control. And then lastly, Fanville has devices for voice deployment, IP paging as well, and door access control, among other new solutions that they're coming out with in the near future. So very excited to start working with all these brands as well. Here's just a quick overview again of some technology sets that we work with: desk phones, video conferencing, networking products, paging solutions, on-premise security, accessories like headsets and some other cabling and mounts and different types of adapters. So again, this is just a brief overview of what we carry, but a lot of this can really incorporate to work together to give you a full solution if you're walking into a new project and you need some ideas on different brands to kind of start with. One particular benefit of working with us is any kind of promotions or discounts that our tier 1 manufacturers that we work with are offering, we can supply directly to you. So what we wanted to highlight here is some really strong discounts that our manufacturer Grandstream is rolling out right now with a few models of their GRP series. So what's really nice about the GRP line, which is different than some of the older models, is a unified firmware. Mass deployments are becoming more and more popular, especially with technology starting to hit the end of life cycle, or maybe being in deployment for a longer than average period. We're seeing a lot more people looking for larger deployments to be done at one time. So having unified firmware on these devices makes configuration and setup a lot smoother. When it comes to firmware upgrades as well, you can push one piece of information across multiple models. Integrated dual band Wi-Fi and Bluetooth is also a really nice benefit to these GRP lines. That allows for more capabilities to add on accessories or connect these devices to your network without having to run a lot of cabling. And then lastly, Grandstream's GDMS platform, which is their device management platform, is a really nice free option to allow you to manage all of the devices that you've installed for various client sites. That gives you one pane of glass and one location to manage, check the status, make sure the devices are online, push your firmwares and configurations. Then you don't have to worry about sending technicians in a truck on site for every little device issue. You can manage it that way first, and then from there assess if you need an on-site visit. But these discounts and promotions are active right now, and anybody here on the sales team would be more than happy to give you a quick quote going over those prices and seeing how these compare with some of the other models you might have been looking at prior to knowing about this promotion. Grandstream is also making a really strong push with their networking line, so much so that they've given us a little bit more free reign to offer networking devices to all of our partners, whether that's a full bundle of a router, switch, and access point, or if you need just a new AP7 that you want to have in your lab for testing because Wi-Fi 7 is brand new, maybe you haven't had a chance to take a look at any equipment that's out there. There's no obligation to this. This is something that we want to make sure that everyone's aware of. Sending out these free units is something we can take care of today. It could be part of an order. It could be on its own. We want to make sure that these devices are in your hands. So feel free to reach out again to anybody. The sales email is below, or if you already have a point of contact on the sales side, please don't hesitate to reach out to them. We can share the full portfolio of the networking products. We can also make sure we share the GDMS link to sign up for their cloud solution if you haven't had their cloud management device manager already set up. What that would do is allow you to take these new devices, maybe you're new to Grandstream, and you can actually put it in your GDMS account, manage your networking products so you can test it, plus test out their portal at the same time, and just see how these devices can enhance some of the offerings that you have today. We'll jump over to Yealink, just a quick highlight of some of their new products. So the models listed below on the T7 side, this is going to be a new state-of-the-art look that they offer, a higher powerful speaker, a little bit more on their AI noise cancellation, a lot of more material that gives you the option to clean these devices. So shared spaces or maybe call centers, places where people are going to be moving from desk to desk, and you want to make sure that everything is nice and hygienic. These new devices have a stronger material to allow for deeper cleaning, so that way you can keep the product working and in good shape for as long as possible. These are going to be a smaller footprint because they're a bit slimmer to sit on the desk. And then you also have an enhanced device mode that would allow, for background options and configuration to take place. Another quick highlight here on the T8 series. All of these are going to have built-in Bluetooth and Wi-Fi. So these are going to be more of your higher end solutions for their new SIP offering. Again, you've got a lot of the same physical characteristics. You've got the slim design, higher end speaker. You also have power saving mode on these. So if these are on a desk and maybe the person using it is not in their office or using it as constant as maybe as some of the workers are, this would put it in a power save mode. So that way you can reduce energy costs. But the biggest thing is just kind of leaning on the 888 team for any specific questions, and we can make sure that the product that we put together on price quotes and things of that nature are going to be the most accurate and solve the issues or questions that your client has. This recording that I'm highlighting here, it's going to be one of the links that we send to you at the end of the webinar. But this was a T7, T8 webinar we did last year. I believe it was towards the end of November. Just a real quick overview of what the T7 and T8 series is going to be about. Our YouTube page is going to start having a lot more information, so feel free to reach out or take a look at that page at all times. Subscribing obviously would give you updates on when new videos are released, but the replay for that webinar from last year will be on there right now. So Yealink also has some strong Wi-Fi presence from a Wi-Fi cordless phone perspective. These two models have become very popular. DECT solutions in the past were some of the only ways that you could achieve wireless handsets. And now that everyone is working towards stronger networks because you've got more people in the office or you have more people relying on Wi-Fi connectivity, you're going to need a little bit of a stronger way and easier way to set up some of these cordless handsets options. So the AX83H is a really great desk phone for office use. By all means, if you'd like to use it in a warehouse space, you certainly can. I would probably suggest the AX86R for that case, though, because the R stands for ruggedized, which gives you a little bit better casing around that phone. The 86R also has IP67 rating, so if it's submerged or dropped in water, you don't really have to worry so much about there being damage because of that rating. It also has the ability to alert folks if that phone is dropped from a high location. Could be a presence that maybe someone has fallen in the warehouse or some other kind of activity is happening to alert folks that someone should be checking on the user of that device. So there's a lot of back-end integration that Yealink has put into these devices just to give more exposure to the system in general and the users of the devices themselves. But below is just a small subset of verticals that these have fit very well in. And again, to piggyback off of the free networking demos that we're doing with Grandstream, if you get a really strong network and you want to add some Wi-Fi devices, these phones would fit very well and would work really well with the Grandstream networking equipment that we carry. Another really big innovation that we're doing here that I think is going to start to separate us even more from some of the other distributors that you may be used to or have worked with in the past is customized brandable faceplates. Right now, manufacturers like Grandstream and Snome allow us to bring in blank faceplates that don't even have their manufacturer name on it. And what we can do as an organization is print your logo or print your client's logo or put a specific picture or image or something on those devices to brand it as your own. So everyone's achieving or striving to have their name located as much as possible on your client site. And the best place to start is going to be the phone. It's something that's used every day. So it would be nice to give your client a little bit of familiarity with who you are. Giving yourself your own customized logo is a great way to start. All of this is done right in-house. So if you need a handful of devices, we obviously would want to set the right expectation for how long this would take. But right now, we're not charging anything until the end of March. So if there is anything that you would like to test, all we have to do is work with you to establish a purchase of a phone. And then from there, if that phone model has the ability for a customized faceplate, we'll make sure to take care of that and reinstall that customized plate on the phone before it ships from our warehouse. Anytime there's any questions on this, or if you'd like I mentioned, just a one-off option just to see what that device looks like when it leaves, we'd be more than happy to have that conversation and see how to get this taken care of for you. But these are services that we do in-house. And again, this one is something that we're trying to pass through to our partners for the rest of Q1. Based on feedback so far, folks that have taken delivery of these devices have really kind of highlighted how clear and how efficient that whole process has been. So again, just increasing the amount of devices for different rollouts could change how long it takes for us to do this for you, but it is all things that we want to make sure that we can handle and offer up. There's no minimums for this. There is no programs that you have to sign up for or anything that you have to do outside of just working with us directly to secure the phones. And then from there, we can work on adding your logo anytime at any point of that process with the deployment that you're working on. Another announcement that we made a month or so ago, we are a new distributor partner for HP Poly as part of their channel development program. So this is definitely an exciting new manufacturer that we've added, new to us, but obviously in the channel for a while. What we try to do is be very upfront with the manufacturers that we bring on. We want to give our partners more flexibility. If you have a strong presence from pre-deployed devices with Poly or HP devices, we have channel distributor reps that are very available for us from a sales and support perspective as well. So if we ever have to get a little bit more focused on questions or you want to go over anything for a new deployment, feel free to lean on us directly for this brand. Quick overview of some of their popular product lines. The Edge E series has definitely become a new focus for us because of how popular this brand has been and this line has been for Poly. hybrid ready options with Bluetooth and Wi-Fi integration. Handset and mobile pairing is definitely, or headset and mobile pairing, I should say, has become a lot easier on these edge devices compared to some models in the past that may have needed, other accessory dongles to allow for those technologies to pair. All of these are built in now. You do have compatibility with some of the leading platform voice manufacturers like Zoom and Google, but then you also have, some simple deployments along with hot desking options. So this Edge series has definitely established itself as a really strong, flexible, and versatile option for any deployment that you might have. This link will also be on the follow-up email, but we did have a more recent webinar at the start of this month for HP Poly, very well attended. But again, you can access the recording of that at any time from our YouTube page. But this highlights a lot of the relationship between 888 VoIP and the HP Poly line. And then lastly, we've just recently made this announcement, if you haven't seen, but we are a distribution partner directly with Fanville as well. Like I mentioned earlier with some of the new brands, this is a very wide variety type of manufacturer, a lot of different technologies, a lot of open source capabilities to kind of plug in and fit the solutions and the systems that you have right now. So whether your client is looking for new IP paging speakers, but they want to keep everything else, leaning on Fanville as an option to see the quality of certain technologies could maybe expand the offering for other types when new projects or reestablished systems have to take place. So again, we have really great, really knowledgeable staff, but we also have great relationships with the manufacturer reps. So always happy to loop them in or reach out to them directly to answer some of your questions and just try to make sure we put together, the best process for you all and keep you having, comfortable experience with us and try to make it as easy as possible to work with the 888 team. But again, quick thank you for everyone that hopped on. I really appreciate your time. Some quick links on the side, our phone number, a good way to reach the whole sales team, and then obviously our website. But I'm going to stick around, see if there have been any questions that have been asked, and just see what we can do to answer those questions for you.
Yes, thank you so much, Joe. We appreciate it. Fantastic information. We did actually get quite a few questions in. So first up being, are we seeing hardware costs increase from listed manufacturers due to the tariff situation? And does 888 actively notify its customers of these types of changes, such as cost increases or supply chain issues?
Yes, yeah. So I can't believe we're getting close to the 1 year mark, to be honest, where the tariffs took place originally, but they are still, active. That's still definitely a talking point with a lot of partners because it does at times, affect the price of the units. We do all we can to work with the manufacturer to try not to increase the partner price and maybe, try to work together to absorb some of that increase on the back end. But we're seeing it again, almost in a different way, but with the chipset shortage that we're experiencing, a lot of these hardware devices are going to start to have price increases. We're given as much notice as possible from the manufacturer. Usually it's 30 days. And at that time, as long as the manufacturer is approving, that this is now okay to send that information, we do have different marketing emails or maybe conversations with partners to go over when the prices are going to increase. It's a very important piece of information, especially if you have quotes that have been out there for a while that are starting to come around to the approval stage. We definitely want to make sure that you're aware of the pricing changes. So we are very active and very thorough in making sure that all partners understand which devices, which manufacturers, and even what the percentage increase is going to look like. That way your quotes stay accurate and we just deliver on all the information that we have.
Awesome. Thank you so much. And then another question is, as part of the value-added services that 888 VoIP offers, would that include adding a personalized QR code to the phones, or is that something that they would negotiate with the manufacturer directly?
Um, I would say working with us directly would make a little bit more sense just because of the flexibility that we have. I know I used that one example of the one partner who sends us their QR code that goes back to their ticket center, but that was established by the partner, so they sent that to us. We branded it onto a sticker or a label that they would like to use. Different sizes are available. Different placements on the phone are available. But yes, that's 100% something that we should be doing directly for you as part of our provisioning service. It's just another peace of mind add-on that we can do, so when it's drop shipped to your client, or your client takes delivery of the device, that they have another way to reach you indirectly. You have a way of reaching us as well. So I would be more than happy to take those calls and figure out a good process for anything like that.
Awesome. And then kind of staying with the provisioning topic, is provisioning available on all brands?
All brands. Yep. All brands. Even at times, we've had the ability to do some customization on some of the IP PBX servers that we carry too, like through Grandstream, for example. So we've been able to do some pre-configuration on those. So when they drop ship, it talks with the phones directly. So I've seen our tech team almost build out the entire installation for partners, then package it back up, knowing that it all talks and works together, and drop ship it to the clients. But any brand that we carry that has the option for provisioning, we can definitely make sure to achieve that on all the devices that we carry.
Okay. And do we have an idea of when we would expect availability of Ubiquiti products?
That's a really good question. I know Ubiquiti is a newer line to us, and I think we're still are almost done with the process of bringing in inventory stock. But I can tell you from experience, they've moved really fast when we have had to order on the fly and ship directly, either bring it to our warehouse first as part of a small stock order or ship directly to your location. So they've been really great to work with, really flexible. So I would say let's just keep an eye out for when that inventory comes in. But we can find out, what ETA looks like to our warehouse and get you some more concrete information on that.
Yep, absolutely. Um, let's see. We have, okay, are demo units available for any brand or any product typically?
I am always of the opinion that we always should ask. Whether different manufacturers have different programs, obviously is going to change based on quarter. A lot of them run the NFR promotion, but I like the demo one because there's no cost to the partner. Usually, if let's just say a manufacturer gets back to us and says they've got almost like a rotation of product that they send out as demos, maybe that's not the best idea for certain deployments. Maybe a brand new device at a lower cost would be a better idea, because it's got the factory seal and it's never been used and then repackaged and then sent back out. But yes, for the most part, I have not seen many manufacturers give too much trouble when it comes to procuring some of the demo or NFR devices. So same thing, feel free to reach out to us. We'd be more than happy to build out a new email thread with our manufacturer reps, go over a quick overview of what the conversation and project was, and then from there find out how many devices we would need to send out on demo.
Awesome. There was a question that came in the chat, and I did answer it via the chat, but they just asked if we are currently prepared to send quotes out for Ubiquiti products, and I said yes, absolutely.
Yep, 100%.
Okay. Are you able to do even more complex logos on the customized faceplates?
Yeah, from experience, I've seen it get pretty specific. Not everybody's company name is just letters. Some have symbols or logos that also tie back to, people remembering who you are. So, what I always suggest is if there's a particular image or complexity that you wanted to go over, you could always work with us or our marketing team to send those images over. And then, because we're going to do the branding for you, we can even run a quick test cycle of those more in-depth logos and see what the outcome is. Send images to you so that way you can give us confirmation on whether or not you like that. But we can definitely get granular. The printer machine and the etching capabilities that we have, there's really no limitation to it. So I definitely have been encouraged to see various types of fonts, various types of logos be put on these devices so it looks like it's your phone when it comes to your client deployment.
Awesome. Thank you so much. And I actually think, yep, that wraps up. Oh, wait. Oh, we just got a bunch of thank yous and claps, Joe, saying we did a fantastic job. So
Oh,
thank you
awesome.
so
Thank you
much,
guys.
everybody.
Thank you all.
We really appreciate it. And let me see, we're down to the last. Okay. Yep. All right. So everybody, thank you so much. We really appreciate it. We hope that this information benefits you and your business. And we are going to send a follow-up email out with the recording and some of the links that we mentioned, as well as any other additional information. So please don't hesitate to reach out, reply to that email to get your free t-shirt. And thank you so much. I hope everybody has a fantastic day. Thanks, Joe.
Thank you.
Take care. Bye-bye.